Alright boys, how yous doing? So we're gonna be doing what you call it? OG and CD have nothing new, but then so that's exactly. I thought it was a wee bit rough. Well, not rough, a bit boring, but anyway. Right boys, so we're doing David Lynch projects. So I've got a tier list here of all the major movies he's worked on and Twin Peaks. I noticed it's left off some stuff like his it specifically says it's left off his short stuff. It's left off a couple of TV shows he worked on. But I feel because there's only 2 movies here I have not seen. The rest of them I've at least tried to get through. But before we dig into the wild works of David Lynch, I've got one other thing I want to dig into. I want to dig into the movies that he didn't make. So the first one he didn't make was a movie called Garden Back, which was based off a painting that he did, which was a hunch figure with vegetation going out its back. It was a surrealist script about adultery. He presented the script to AFI. I was confused there for a second, thinking about the band as opposed to, but they rejected it. So they felt that 45-minute runtime was too long for such a figurative, non-linear script. The next one really interests me. Next one really interests me. So, when he was working with Catherine Coulson in Razorhead, he had an idea for a show. It was like a TV show where a woman has a log and she goes around with everyone, and the show was going to be called I'll Test My Log with Every Branch of Knowledge. And she goes about to doctors, dentists, physicians, and each of them talk about a log. Basically, he liked that character so much, he input it in Twin Peaks, played by the same actress. That's pretty fucking cool. Next one's a thing called Ronnie Rocket, which he never... this one just sounds absolutely insane, which is about a detective looking to get into a second dimension. Aided by his ability to stand on one leg, he's restricted on his quest by odd rooms and a threatening train while being stopped by the Donut Men, who wield electricity as a weapon. This sounds a bit too David Lynch. Like, so instead of doing this one in the 70s, he done The Elephant Man, which is fucking class, and Michael J. Anderson was attached. Oh, the wee guy. Anyways, yeah, and then there's other things he worked on were things like Franz Kafka's Metamorphosis. What's this? Night Havoc said no. Ronnie Rocket and his band Falling in Reverse. Oh no, can't be having that. Fuck off, Ronnie Rocket. Anything to do with that, just in the bin. Anyway, so I didn't know this. He was after Blue Velvet. He was asked to work on Red Dragon or for Dino De Laurentiis. Where do I know that name? Dino De Laurentiis. Where do I know that name? Sean, does he make a lot of like schlock movies? But anyway, so he could have made fucking Manhunter, but it was just done. He tried to work on a sequel for Dune, and they tried to work on Franz Kafka's Metamorphosis. But boys, here's the biggest one that this doesn't have down, but it is confirmed. It is absolutely confirmed that he worked on this, or he was going to work on this. David Lynch was offered Return of the Jedi. I shit you not. He was offered this by George Lucas himself. This is on the David Lynch wiki, but I've also listened to an interview David Lynch done himself. And basically, he done Razorhead, he done Elephant Man, and they were like, yep, we want you in to do Return of the Jedi. And he was like, I respect George Lucas. And then George Lucas had a meeting with him, and he told me about Wookiee, I had a fucking migraine, so I couldn't do it. But David Lynch then went, that's okay, I'll do Dune instead. Dune went well. So he nearly worked on, what's this, Venus Descending, a movie based on the life of Marilyn Monroe. Holy shit. One Saliva Bubble. So just the title of that is made, what's this, it's plot set in a small town of Newton, Kansas, where a secret government project goes amok when a guard's tiny saliva bubble shoots out his mouth and into a weapon system. Setting off a chain reaction that discombobulates the entire town when residents began to switch identities with one another, causing all kind of wacko hell to Blake Roos, I can't talk, fucking hell. Cliches one end to the other. Oh, Steve Martin was going to be in it. Oh, it was going to be like a comedy. I see. Up at the Lake was just now one with De Laurentiis before his business went under. The filmed to be a mystery, but no script was written. What's this? The mystery novel You Play the Black and the Red comes up. A man dealing with luck, death, and irony. Oh, nothing really is jumping out here. A Twin Peaks spin-off starring Audrey Horne. Ooh, that would have been cool because I fucking love Audrey Horne in that. The story inspired Mulholland Drive, fair enough. Fire Walk With Me sequels. We could have had the Twin Peaks cinematic universe, boysies. We were robbed. Dino produced everything from Red Dragon to Conan the Barbarian to Death Wish. Oh, that'll be it. He's always in these. He's always in these ones where fucking. I watched a guy called Good Bad Flicks, so he mentions that a lot. Domu, A Child's Dream. What's that? It's a manga. Domu, A Child's Dream. An old man and child possessing extrasensory powers. Oh, that sounds kind of cool. He was got a Dream of the Bovine. It was about 3 guys who used to be cows living in Van Nuys and trying to assimilate their lives. He tried to convince Marlon Brando to co-star, but Brandon wasn't interested, calling the script pretentious bullshit. I mean, I'll call quite a few things pretentious, but that sounds class. 3 cows deciding to be humans. Top class shit. Anyway, Fantomas, which is like I think he was like a French pulp figure. Yeah, he was got to. Yeah, he's like a French pulp figure because I know about that because he was in the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. Severed, and then he was going to work on Severed, the true story of the Black Dahlia murder. Oh my god. Well, I don't know about that. A Mulholland Drive TV series. ABC decided not to pick up the series. Then turned the pilot into a feature film, which was released in. Oh wait, Mulholland Drive was gonna be a TV series. Oh, it's kind of cool. Right, here we go. Woodcutters from Fiery Ships game. What the fuck is this? Sounds Interactive, a Japanese video game company, announced that it would be making a game called Woodcutters from Fiery Ships, designed by David Lynch, who was impressed with the earlier game's gadget, invention, travel, and adventure, which he had delivered an immersive experience to a user. Certain events happen in the bungalow, which is behind another in Los Angeles. Suddenly, woodcutters arrive and they take the man who they think is witness events. Their ship is like a 30s kind of ship, fuel is logs and they smoke pipes. The game was cancelled in November 1999 due to concerns that its conundrum-like story would be uninteresting to computer game players. Fucking hell. So they cancelled it because they thought the story would be too weird. Wait, is it the Woodcutters Will Bleed? I mean, maybe. But they cancelled it thinking that the story would be too weird. It's not as if one of the biggest selling PC games ever was fucking missed. That doesn't have a story. That's just weird. You're on an island. Why are you on the island? I don't know. Fucking figure it out, you know? It's not as if that was one of the biggest selling games ever. And then a script called Antelope Don't Run No More, which is set in Los Angeles, much like quite a lot of his movies. And with space aliens, talking animals, and a beleaguered magician named Pinky. He couldn't get funding for the project. I can't fucking talk. Fucking hell. There was some speculation that Lynch would be making the film on Netflix. Oh well. There's quite a lot of David Lynch's movies that didn't get made. But boys, let's dig into the ones that did get made. So, we'll start off at the start. So here we go. Like I said, there's only 2 that I've not seen. And I've not seen The Straight Story, which was made for Disney, about a guy who goes on a journey on a lawnmower from Iowa to Wisconsin. I've not seen that. I've heard good things about it, but I've never seen it. And I have never seen Lost Highway. Kieran says it's fucking mental. I read up the plot, and yeah, I'll get into it. So I'll put these at the end. I won't rank these. These will be pretend this is a bin down here. Right. I've got the most to say about Twin Peaks, so I'll put them over here. Them over there. Right. So Eraserhead. Eraserhead was his first movie. It was weird as fuck. Honestly, I've not seen it in about maybe. How old am I now? I'm 30 now, so about maybe 13 years. Because I think when I first started getting into David Lynch and stuff like that, Eraserhead was one of the first ones I watched. But the only scene that's still in my head was the bit where he unwraps the baby. I remember enjoying the Eraserhead. I know it's very fondly looked upon. Actually, I'm just gonna see. I'm just gonna check on my phone how much it's got in Rotten Tomatoes and all that. Go take a guess, boysies. Take a wild guess what Eraserhead has on Rotten Tomatoes. Eraserhead. I used to always get the title confused with Eraser, the Schwarzenegger movie. Eraserhead has 89 on Rotten Tomatoes. I think 49. Oh, I thought this movie's considered a classic. So 89% on Rotten Tomatoes, which I'll put in a B because I liked Eraserhead, but I can't actually remember much about it. But I remember enjoying it. But there's gonna be a lot. So right, boys. Next up we have The Elephant Man. Boys, The Elephant Man is one of my favourite movies ever made. Elephant Man is fucking class. It's very unlike David Lynch's normal stuff, but it is just a really good story about a guy struggling with like this condition and how people view him as a monster. And it's got one of the most there's a famous scene where he shouts, "I'm not a monster, I'm a man," and it's one of the most powerful scenes I've ever seen in a movie. It's so fucking good. Actually, now that I'm checking, I'm gonna check what other movies they have, or not, what other score these movies have. So that's The Elephant Man. What do we think The Elephant Man has? So The Elephant Man has, oh my god, he's got so many of his short movies and stuff like that on here. So The Elephant Man has 92%. Fucking deserves every single percent of that. Dune, right. Here's a big one. So, boys, I don't want to spoil yous. A world beyond your experience, beyond your imagination. I love that tagline. But I don't like this movie. But to be fair, I like it as much as the other Dune movie that I've seen. And the miniseries that I've seen. Because as much as someone who doesn't like Dune, I have seen a lot of Dune projects and a lot of stuff. And I don't like any of them. I just think I don't like the franchise. I think it's weird. I think it's... Well, I think if you have to try and explain your world, science fiction world so much, you have to spend ages telling me about the spice trade. And if you need so much... What do you call it? Exposition to describe your world. It's not a good world, you know? But... And I think Dune's just a big fucking rib on me. D. I don't like Dune. D for Dune. There we go. Blue Velvet. Blue Velvet's fucking class. Blue Velvet was actually the first of these movies that I've seen. I watched it with my parents, which is a big mistake. It's got a young Kyle MacLachlan in it and a fucking amazing Dennis Hopper performance. So I put it in S. It's gonna get pretty heavy in S. I think I'll put it in A. A is very good. So what we'll do is we'll have S is like cream of crop. A is good. No, A is like very good. B is good. C is eh, and D shite. Right, boys. Next up we have Wild at Heart with Nicolas Cage, Laura Dern. The opening of this movie lives in my mind. What's the term? Rent free. Where Nicolas Cage is fucking wild in this movie. This is Nicolas Cage at one of his most Nicolas Cage performances. Dennis Hopper's so good. Oh, he's so good in Blue Velvet. He's so fucking good. It's mental that came out. Did that come out the same year as Mario? I think it might have. It was something like that. Like his best performance and his, you know, worst performance in Blue Velvet, obviously, and his best performance in Mario. But aye, what a time. But he was so good in Blue Velvet, and you know what? He fucking scared me in Mario when I was a win. Actually, no, that's a lie. I wasn't scared of King Koopa. I was scared of the what you call it, Goombas. They freaked me the fuck out when I was younger. Anyways, I can't believe I'm talking about the Mario movie and a thing about David Lynch movies. Man, David Lynch should have done every adaptation. I think, oh, David Lynch should have done. But Wild at Heart is... I'll say Wild at Heart is very good. I really enjoy Wild at Heart, so I'll put it in A. I was going to put it at top of B, but it's really, really good. It's... Nicolas Cage, when he's on... Well, that's like, Nicolas Cage is always good. He's always trying. But see, when Nicolas Cage seems to work really, like... Really, and then David Lynch seems to have this thing where he's like, right, here we go, fucking go mental. He understands them, if you know what I mean, and he uses them super well in Wild at Heart. Mulholland Drive, right? I have not seen Mulholland Drive in since because I tend not to watch movies again, but I've not seen Mulholland Drive since about 17, 18. I know it's Kieran's favorite Lynch movie. I think it's good. Don't know what to say about it. It's good. It's Naomi Watts is really good in it. That famous jump scare scene, of course, is like one of the only things I can remember in it. Right, Mulholland Drive is good. I don't know if I'd recommend it to people. I don't know if it'd be my first Lynch movie I'd recommend to people. I'd probably recommend things like Blue Velvet or Elephant Man over that. But oh, here we go, boys. Here's the next big one. Inland Empire. Now, Kieran has tried to make me watch this movie 3 times. Each time, we get a little bit deeper in it. And Kieran, who loves David Lynch, I'd say Kieran adores David Lynch. Kieran cannot stand this movie. It is... So David Lynch, I feel, is very creative, almost to a fault. He is super creative, but sometimes his movies have this dreamlike quality, and logic and plot kind of disappear to them. But Inland Empire is the far side of that. If like the most grounded movie done is like Elephant Man, and then you get something like Eraserhead, which is like the dreamlike quality really works for it and gives this really powerful atmosphere. Inland Empire is the actual opposite. So That's thing, D for Dune, because that's fitting. Hey, I'm Frax, how you doing, pal? Yeah, D for Dune, or the bottom of the barrel for Dune, but there's something at the bottom below that, and that's Inland Empire, because at least Dune has a plot that you can follow. At least it's got things you can understand. Inland Empire is insane. Like, it's completely, I can't get it. The thing is, you'll see people, Inland Empire is like, I think it's like 3 hours long. D for Dinland Empire fitting. IS and Snelephant Man and S, I don't, oh fuck, I fucked that, boys, I've already ruined this. Right, I'm just gonna look, what does Inland Empire have? So I'm just looking at all his movies, see all his like big theatrical movies, really good reviews, apart from Inland Empire's got 72%. 72%. Inland Empire's better rated than Lost Highway. Inland Empire is rated better, actually I'm just gonna check something. Inland Empire is rated better than Twin Peaks Fire Walk With Me. It's rated better than Wild at Heart. Fuck me. Inland Empire is garbage. So if you like Inland Empire, I'm sorry, but I just fucking can't stand the movie. It's just incoherent nonsense, because I feel that's the most, like, that's when his creativity gets a bit too much for him and he gets a bit carried away. I feel David Lynch is a bit right. Boys, are you ready for a take that's gonna really, really get people going, really annoy people? I feel David Lynch is that his bit. He's kind of like George Lucas in a way. He's a very creative person, or Dan Aykroyd as well. Very creative person, but at their best when they've got someone to reel them in, or they're limited by something, you know. Like, they work well, but when they get when you let them go, when you let Dan Aykroyd go, you get nothing but trouble. When you let George Lucas go, you get the Phantom Menace. And when the Hideo Kojima effect, there we go, perfect example. Hideo Kojima makes some of the best games ever made. Fucking Snake Eater, I consider a perfect game. But then you let him go, and you go, you've got full control, on you go, and he goes and makes fucking Death Stranding. Suddenly, Monster Energy and Jeff Keighley are everywhere, and there's a guy called, like, Mr. Deathman or something, I can't remember. But anyway, Inland Empire, dog shit. I'm actually tempted. You know what? Inland Empire's existence makes Dune better. Dune is now in the C tier. I'm putting that up. Right, boys. Now we are on to possibly, right? Actually, not possibly. Twin Peaks, the first season, specifically the first season, is my favourite TV show ever made, and that's only been cemented by rewatching it. It has this amazing thing between mental kooky soap opera-ness, like, and it'll go between these wacky and weird characters, and like Cooper will literally be talking to Sheriff, going, "What kind of trees you got here, Sheriff?" "Oh, they're pine wood," and you're like, "Oh, amazing trees," and then it'll cut, and he'll suddenly go, "Yeah, so where was this brutal murder taking place, and what happened?" And then it'll go into great detail, and really, it'll be like it'll just flipping a switch between, like, you know, really sort of wacky shit you'd see in fucking, like, I don't know, fucking, you know, like a comedy show like fucking Brooklyn Nine-Nine or whatever, you know, some shit like that, and then it just goes to the most serious, dark shit you've ever seen. I love the plot. I love them. It's a very unique. No other show has really given me this mix of, like, cartoonish characters and I love the atmosphere, and then suddenly when it gets dark and serious, it gets really dark and serious, you know? I fucking adore Twin Peaks. I love all the performances. I love it. Apart from James. Fuck James. But I absolutely love Twin Peaks. Twin Peaks is my favourite TV show ever made. And because of that, the first season, boom. Top of the thing. Then, right, boys, so here we go. Twin Peaks had, basically the network told them, you need to tell, but I think, I feel that it's not rushed. I feel it doesn't feel rushed when you find out who the killer is. It doesn't feel like it's been forced, they've been forced, if you get what I mean. But it feels like, you know, you can find out the killers and there's a bit of a down period, and that down period, it doesn't get as awful as I remember it. It's weird, it gets really, really weird, and there's a whole subplot with James that I don't think should exist. But see, the ending of Twin Peaks is fucking amazing. So it's like a bar, you've got, like, it's still really good quality for the first, like, say, first third of the season. Then it takes a bit of a dip, but then that last bit is just oh, it's so good. Season of when the Merrill gets introduced, so fucking good. I fucking love Twin Peaks. The second season isn't quite as good, so I'm gonna put it in A. Actually, thinking about it, I'm gonna move Wild at Heart down a bit to B, and I'll put Mulholland Drive above it. I think. But aye, second season isn't quite as good as the first, but that doesn't mean anything because the first season's. It's like it went from like a 10 out of 10 to like 8.5 out of 10. Still a fucking great show, you know. Anyways, Fire Walk With Me, a movie that initially I was really torn on. I first seen this and I wasn't big on it because it's not, how do I say it? It's very strange. It's a lot more David Lynch than, I think it's because, did Mark Frost not have anything to do with this? I can't remember. There was heat between them. But I recently watched a fan edit, which was Twin Peaks Fire Walk With Me, Blue Rose I think it was called. And it's basically someone edited together they released the missing pieces, which was about a 2-hour long movie that was just cut scenes from Fire Walk With Me. So I watched together a full 3-hour edit of Fire Walk With Me, and it's fucking class. I really like it. It's a really good companion piece to Twin Peaks. It's very weird, and this got horrible reviews when it came out because it's very Lynch. That's how I can describe it. But Fire Walk With Me, I don't know if it's... I really like it, but I don't know if it's... Is it an A or a B? I don't know. I'll probably put it in as an A, because it does have, like, the initial cut of it I wasn't a big fan of. Like, it is weird. Not enough Kane, too much Lynch. The best boys, Kane and Lynch. I really like Kane and Lynch 1, but that's beside the fact. I can hear Jason seething for some weird reason now. Right, boys. This is the one that gets me a lot of hate. Twin Peaks The Return, or Twin Peaks the third season, or Twin Peaks a Showtime event, or whatever the fuck they called it. The third season of Twin Peaks. Everyone absolutely fucking loves this show. Actually, that's a lie. I've went back and rewatched bits of it. I've listened to... Oh, we finished Shape of Him Detective, Jason. We're now doing a tier list of David Lynch shit. But anyway, so everyone loves this show. I like it better than what I did. I listened to a shit ton of, Twin Peaks The Full Story videos, shit like that. He's finished the stream. I have. Stream's over. But I don't know. It's because I watched it as it was coming out, and I was really confused. I dropped it, and then I rewatched it, and just recently I've been making my way through Twin Peaks again, and it's better in my mind. So I'm gonna put Twin Peaks the third season in like high B, I think. It's better in my mind, especially now it's a full, like, I know the full story from it, because what I've done is I've watched seasons 1 and 2 again. The chat being comically large. Bits with a deadly finish. I don't know why it's so big. Pray for me. Update. I've got an update and I've not touched it because I'm like, I know it's going to fucking break. It's going to go awful. It's going to go tits up. But aye, that is my tier list of David Lynch projects.